beloved soul, that tightness in your chest right now. Your angels are sounding an urgent alarm about your love life. If your hands just got cold listening to this, pay attention. Heaven is trying to save your future marriage before it's too late. Pause. Place both hands on your heart. Breathe in courage. Exhale fear. Archangel Michael stands guard with his sword of truth. Subscribe and hit the bell. Your love destiny needs these critical angelic alerts. Your like strengthens this. Warning, your share could save someone else's divine union. Let your spirit respond in the comments. Type "Angels break my fears" or share which love-blocking habit you need to release. If this warning resonated, support our protection mission with a super thanks. Together, we safeguard sacred love. Now, say "I choose love." Your life-changing angel warning begins now. Your angels are showing me your wedding day, the white dress, the tears, the sacred vows. This union isn't just written in the stars, it's already been approved by heaven. But there's one obstacle standing between you and this divine destiny. One habit, one mindset, one self-sabotaging pattern that could delay or even derail what's meant for you. And right now, the angels are sounding the alarm, because this isn't just a gentle nudge. It's a sacred warning, a holy interruption, not to shame you, but to protect you, to keep you from stepping into love still holding on to what could poison it. They're saying, we're so close to releasing the blessing, but we need you to let go. Of the fear that whispers, "I'm too much," of the belief that says, "I'll never be chosen," of the impulse that pushes love away the moment it starts to feel real. You know this pattern, the shutting down, the second guessing, the waiting for rejection. So you can say, "I knew it." It's not your fault you learned these things. You were taught by pain, taught by betrayal, taught by survival. But your angels are saying, you don't need those teachers anymore. You've graduated. You've healed enough to release the story that says you're only safe if you're distant. Because love, real love, needs access, not to control you, but to meet you, to hold the parts of you that are tired of being hidden. And if that part of you stays armored, this sacred love may come to your door, but you won't open it. You'll look through the peephole and say, "Not yet." You'll feel overwhelmed by what you asked for. Because the old you, the fearful you, still feels undeserving. But heaven is declaring, you are worthy, you are ready, you are loved in your fullness, and now it's time to act like it. The one habit that must die is the habit of dimming yourself, of pre-abandoning love before it can leave you, of pretending not to care to protect your heart. Because this love that's coming, it's tender, it's transparent, it's built for openness, and you've been asking for something real. But real requires readiness, vulnerability, courage, not the absence of fear, but the decision to not let fear decide. Your angels are reminding you, this is your moment. You're in the final stretch, and this one block, this one residue of old thinking can't go with you. It will choke the roots of the new life trying to grow. It will confuse the one who was sent to love you. It will delay what is already aligned. And that's why the angels are raising their voices, because they see the fullness of the wedding day. The light in your eyes, the quiet joy in your spirit, they know what's waiting for you, and they refuse to let it be lost because of a fear that no longer belongs to you. This isn't just emotional, it's spiritual, because the pattern you're breaking is generational. Others before you didn't know how to stay open to real love. They didn't know how to receive without conditions. They didn't know how to speak their needs without guilt, but you do. You're the cycle breaker, the one heaven has trusted to clear the way, to walk boldly into something that no one around you has modeled well. And that's why it's hard. That's why it's scary. But that's also why you've been chosen, because you have the soul strength, the divine backing, the heavenly support, to rise, to release, to receive. You've done the inner work. Now it's time for the final release. Let go of the voice that says, "What if they leave?" and start listening to the one that says, "What if they stay?" Let go of the story that says, "I'll never be enough," and start anchoring into, "I was born for this." Let go of the energy that says, "I always get hurt," and shift into, "This love comes to heal," because what's coming next can't coexist with old armor. This is not a war, it's a wedding. And your soul needs space to walk freely into it. No more running, no more rehearsing heartbreak, no more sabotaging what is sacred. The angels are guiding you through this moment of reckoning. They are flooding your path with grace. Because this isn't about being perfect, it's about being present. It's about choosing again, even when the fear whispers old lies. It's about walking forward even when your knees shake, because beyond that fear is your altar, and beyond that altar is your destiny. So right now, heaven is asking, can you release the fear of being fully loved? Can you stop trying to control the outcome and just receive? Can you look in the mirror and say, "I trust myself to show up in love. And I trust love to meet me there," because when you do, everything shifts. The block is lifted, the blessing flows, the moment begins, and the wedding you've seen in dreams, the tears, the vows, the sacred energy becomes real. Because you let go. Because you trusted. Because you said yes to yourself, to your worth, to your divine readiness. This isn't about changing who you are. It's about releasing what you're not. You are not too broken. You are not too late. You are not too complicated. You are ready, and love is already on its way. The only thing it needs is space, space to root, to grow, to rise within a heart that's open and soft again. So if this message feels like it's touching your soul, it's because your angels are confirming. This is your word. This is your moment of breakthrough. Your soul is being cleared for sacred union. Type "I release the old" and receive the sacred if you feel it. Let the angels record your yes. Let heaven move what it must, because the only thing left between you and your destiny is a goodbye to fear, and a full-hearted welcome to the love that was always meant to be yours, and a full-hearted welcome to the love that was always meant to be yours. Not love that confuses you, not love that leaves you questioning your worth, but love that confirms everything God already whispered over your life. Love that feels like peace, like breath, like home. The angels are rejoicing right now because your spirit just crossed a threshold. You may not feel it all at once, but something is lifting. Something old just broke off. The pattern that once whispered, "Protect yourself," is now bowing to a higher truth. You are protected by heaven. You are safe to love. You are safe to be loved. You are safe to be seen, all of you. Even the unspoken parts, especially the unspoken parts. Because this divine union isn't built on performance, it's built on presence. It's not about appearing perfect, it's about showing up real. With your heart open, with your truth intact, with your soul unclenched, and your future spouse They will come not looking for an image. They will come drawn to your essence, the softness you tried to hide, the light you tried to dim, the sensitivity you once saw as weakness. They'll call all of it beautiful, and they'll hold it with reverence, because they will see you not with human eyes, but through a divine lens. This is why the angels needed to interrupt your thinking today, to protect what's coming, to prepare you fully, to keep you from pushing away the very thing you've prayed for. Because love is not knocking on your door in the future. It's approaching now. It's circling you. It's reaching out through dreams, through signs, through whispers you keep trying to explain away. But the divine doesn't need explanation. It just needs permission. And when you give it, the shift happens, the light returns, and the wedding you once only saw in visions becomes the life you're living day by day. This is no longer about timing. It's about readiness. It's not about chasing. It's about receiving. You've been prepared through fire, molded in grace, tested in silence. Now heaven says, step forward and don't look back. Let the old story die. Let the wound close. Let the armor fall to the ground, because the love ahead does not require you to defend yourself. It only requires your yes. And that yes will open doors that confusion once tried to close. That yes will welcome a partner who loves the whole you. That yes will tell the universe, I am no longer afraid of the life I was created for. So if you feel the weight of this message, that's your spirit rising. That's your future self saying, keep going. I'm waiting for you here. That's your angels flooding the room with assurance. You are doing it. You are becoming. You are aligning. This is not a fantasy. This is the reality love has been preparing. And all that's left to do now is trust, to stay open, to continue saying, I am worthy of this sacred union. I am safe to receive the love heaven wrote for me. I am not who I used to be. I am ready. Ready for peace. Ready for partnership. Ready for the promise. Because love, true, divine, transformative love, is not coming to test you. It's coming to bless you. And what once felt so far away is now standing at the edge of your new beginning, waiting for your permission to enter. So type, I am ready to receive divine love if this resonates in your heart. Speak it out loud if you need to. Let the vibration move through your body. Let your angels hear it clearly. Because you are not just waiting for your wedding day. You are walking toward it. One healed thought at a time. One surrendered fear at a time. One sacred yes at a time. And when you finally arrive, when your soul stands across from the one heaven wrote for you, you'll smile through your tears. And you'll understand. This was never delayed. It was divinely timed. And it was always, always yours. It's not what you think. It's not about your past, your looks, or your mistakes. It's the way you doubt love when it gets too good. The way you brace for disaster when happiness arrives. The way you unconsciously push away the very love you've prayed for. Your angels show me you doing it right now, second-guessing their sincerity, over-analyzing their actions, preparing an exit strategy for a love that's meant to last forever. Not because you're ungrateful, not because you don't want love, but because somewhere along the way, love became linked with pain, with betrayal, with loss. And now, when something real starts to unfold, your nervous system doesn't relax. It prepares for impact. It anticipates the end before the beginning even settles. And the angels are saying, gently but urgently, you don't need to live like that anymore. This is not the same story. This is not the same chapter. This is not the same person. But you are carrying the same fear, the same defense, the same hesitation. And it's time to let it go. Not because you should be fearless, but because this fear no longer serves your destiny. This fear doesn't protect your heart. It prolongs your loneliness. It keeps love on the doorstep, knocking, while you pretend not to be home. Because if you open that door, you're afraid. Afraid of losing yourself again. Afraid of depending on someone who might leave. Afraid of trusting a love that might change its mind. But your angels want you to know. That fear, it's a ghost. It's an echo from a version of you who didn't know better. Who had to survive. Who had to build walls because no one came to shield you. But you're not that version anymore. You're wiser, softer, stronger in your spirit, and love, real love, is calling for that version of you. The one who's healing. The one who's choosing presence over patterns. The one who's ready to stay when staying feels vulnerable. You see, the person coming into your life, they won't just fall in love with your smile. They'll fall for the part of you that keeps showing up even when it's hard. Even when you want to run. Even when your voice trembles. And they'll stay. Not to fix you, but to walk with you. To help you feel safe in a love that doesn't punish your softness. That doesn't confuse you with mixed signals. That doesn't leave when your heart opens too wide. But here's the truth. They can only meet you where you are willing to be seen. If you keep second-guessing them, they'll feel it. If you keep testing them, they'll eventually burn out trying to prove they're not your past. Because your past is not their burden to carry. Your healing is not their assignment. It's yours. And this is the moment heaven is asking you. Are you willing to stop rehearsing rejection? Are you willing to stop imagining betrayal that hasn't even happened? Are you willing to stop preparing for disappointment in a space meant for devotion? Because if you are, everything shifts. That heaviness in your chest, it starts to lift. That panic when love feels too good, it softens into gratitude. That instinct to sabotage, it dissolves in the presence of trust. You become your own safety, your own home. So love doesn't have to fight to get in. And the person who's meant to love you, they'll feel the difference. They'll feel your openness, they'll feel your readiness, and they'll respond with consistency. Because that's what real love does. It doesn't panic when you pause. It doesn't disappear when you doubt. It stays and invites you to do the same. To stay. Even when your thoughts spiral. Even when your body trembles. Even when everything in you says, run. That's the moment you breathe. That's the moment you remember. This love is not your enemy. This love is not your threat. This love is not a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. It's a steady flame waiting to warm you. But you must draw near to it. You must meet it halfway. You must stop turning off the lights when it knocks at your door. Because you've asked for this. You've cried for this. You've whispered for this when no one else could hear you. Please send me someone who stays. Please send me someone who sees me. And now heaven is doing just that. But if you don't disarm, you won't recognize the answer when it arrives. You'll assume it's too good to be true, too patient, too soft, too kind, because you've gotten used to chaos. But love, true love, is not chaos. It's calm, it's clarity, it's the space where your soul can breathe again. So the angels are asking, can you let love feel good? Can you stop looking for the catch? Can you trust that love doesn't have to hurt to be real, because the love that's coming, it's different. It's divine. It's healthy. But healthy love requires a healed receiver. Not perfect, just willing. Willing to catch yourself when you start to run. Willing to pause when you start to assume. Willing to stay open when everything in you wants to shut down. Because that willingness, that is healing, that is power, that is readiness. So stop checking for exits. Start checking in with your heart. Ask it what it needs. Tell it it's safe now. Tell it love is no longer something it has to fear. And when that love shows up, as it's about to, receive it. Not with doubt, but with delight. Not with suspicion, but with surrender. Because this is not your past repeating. This is heaven redeeming, and your only job now is to be present, to stay soft, to stay open. Type I am open to love without fear if you feel this message in your spirit. Let your angels see your shift. Let your future partner feel the warmth of your readiness, because they are coming, and they are coming with peace. All that's left is for you to believe you deserve it, and you do. You always have, and now you finally will. Not just in theory, not just in quiet hope, but in your bones, in your breath, in the way you begin to look at love with softer eyes. Not like a threat, but like a promise fulfilled, because your angels aren't just showing you this truth for comfort. They're showing you because it's imminent. You are standing at the edge of a sacred beginning, and you must choose how to cross, with your heart armored in fear or open in faith. You can't have both, and heaven is calling you now, whispering into your soul. This time is different. This time is real. This time you are safe. But safety requires surrender. It requires that you stop holding your breath in the presence of joy, that you stop sabotaging stillness just because you've learned to expect storms. The angels see it, the subtle ways you test love. Not to hurt anyone, but to protect yourself. You pull away slightly when things get close. You question kind words before you believe them. You imagine them leaving before they've even gotten the chance to stay. And that story, it's not yours anymore. You've outgrown it. You've healed too much to let fear run your decisions. And now it's time to live like someone who's been restored, not guarded, not hesitant, but present. Yes, you'll still feel afraid sometimes. Yes, your heart might tremble at the softness of what's coming. But courage is not the absence of fear. It's the refusal to let fear steal what is sacred. And this love, this next chapter, it is sacred. It is the answer to the prayers you once whispered through tears, the evidence that your faith was never in vain, the reward of every time you chose healing over hiding. So when it arrives, don't shrink, don't flinch, don't pretend you don't care just to stay in control. Let it touch you, let it move you, let it break the wall you don't need anymore. Because this person isn't showing up to harm you, they're showing up to honor you. They'll bring words that don't confuse, actions that match, energy that holds, not hurries. And your nervous system will notice the difference. It will calm, settle, rest, because your soul will say, yes, this is what I've been waiting for. Not loud, not overwhelming, but sure, certain, aligned. And the more you let go of your fear, the more you'll see how safe this really is. You'll stop rehearsing rejection. You'll stop questioning every blessing. You'll stop pre-planning heartbreak, and instead, you'll start receiving every compliment, every kind gesture, every sacred moment of being truly seen, and you'll realize you were never too broken for love. You were never too late. You were just being refined for a love that wouldn't run, wouldn't play games, wouldn't make you guess, and that love is here, or it's one breath away. So say it, feel it, claim it. I am not afraid of the love that's meant for me. I am not pushing away what I once cried out for. I am showing up fully, gently and open. This is your declaration. This is your shift. This is your invitation for heaven to send it forward. Because when you live like you're already loved, you magnetize what's truly aligned. You stop chasing, you start attracting. And your angels, they lean in, they accelerate the timeline, they open the final door, and suddenly, the person who once felt so far is standing in front of you, not by accident, but by divine orchestration. And in that moment, you'll be glad you did the work, glad you stayed open, glad you stopped running, because this love, it's not perfect, but it's pure, it's not loud, but it's lasting, it's not always easy, but it's always honest, and it's yours. No longer something to fear, but something to finally receive. Type I, receive this love fully and without fear. If your heart is ready, let your angels seal the shift. Let your future partner feel the signal in their spirit, because the wait is ending. And the real, sacred, healing love is coming straight to your open heart. This isn't just fear, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Every time you pull back just in case, you create the very distance you fear. Every test you silently give them pushes them away. Every moment you withhold trust teaches them to do the same. The angels reveal. Your soulmate feels this energy. They don't understand why you hesitate when heaven has already said yes. They can't comprehend why you doubt a love this destined. And if this continues, it could make them question everything. Not because they don't love you, but because your fear begins to sound louder than your faith. And faith is the foundation of what you're building. This is not about perfection, it's about presence. But when you retreat, when you analyze every word, every silence, every pause in communication, you send out signals that say, I'm expecting you to leave. I'm bracing for heartbreak. I don't trust what I've prayed for. And they feel it. Even if you say all the right things on the surface, your energy says something else. It says I'm scared. It says I'm preparing for pain. And your soulmate, they want to draw near. But how can they enter when the door is always halfway closed? How can they relax into love when they feel like they're being evaluated, measured, judged against shadows from your past? This is not judgment from heaven. This is love's intervention. Because the angels see how close you are, how near this divine connection is, how heaven has orchestrated the timing, the lessons, the inner work. And now you stand on the threshold of fulfillment. But the only thing that could delay it now is the fear you keep justifying. You've said, I'm just being cautious. I've been hurt before. I don't want to get blindsided. And those are real feelings, valid experiences. But now, they've become your lens, not just your memory. They're coloring how you see someone who has not betrayed you. They're shaping how you receive a love that is not like the past. And love cannot thrive in constant suspicion. Even divine love needs space to breathe, to grow, to rest in truth. And your soulmate, they feel safe with you, but they're starting to wonder if you feel safe with them. And that matters. Because no matter how chosen they feel, they want to feel received, not tolerated, not tested, not questioned every step of the way. The angels say, this person was sent to walk with you, not prove themselves to your fear. They were sent to build with you, not constantly repair the cracks your mistrust creates. They were sent to honor the healed version of you. But you must honor it too. Because if you continue to protect your heart with distance, you'll create exactly what you feared. A love that pulls away. A love that starts to doubt its place. A love that begins to say, maybe they're not ready. And the heartbreaking part is, you are ready. But your actions say otherwise. Your spirit is longing for connection, but your behavior signals hesitation. You smile, but your energy says, wait. You speak, but your spirit is guarded, and your soulmate, who has been listening deeply, will soon ask, why do they still not believe in us? And if they ask that long enough without resolution, they may begin to fade. Not because they're weak, but because no soul can bloom in soil soaked in doubt. They need your yes, your full-hearted yes, not a conditional one, not a guarded one, but a yes that says, I'm scared, but I'm here. I'm still healing, but I'm open. I may have been hurt, but I'm not going to hurt us because of it. That's maturity. That's divine readiness. That's the kind of energy that heaven can bless. So stop feeding the fear that says, if I don't protect myself, I'll be abandoned. The real danger is protecting yourself so much that you abandon them. The one who came in peace, in alignment, with intention. They are not here to play games. They're here to stay, but they need a heart that welcomes staying, not one that's still calculating escape routes. The angels say, this is your test, not a punishment, but a pivot. A chance to choose new behavior in a familiar moment, to respond from faith instead of fear, to recognize love when it's knocking instead of preparing to run. Because this time, love is different. It's not built on control. It's built on connection. And that connection is already there. It's undeniable. You feel it, they feel it, and heaven sees it. But what you do now determines what happens next. So, do you keep rehearsing heartbreak? Do you keep pulling away at the first sign of closeness? Do you keep doubting what's divine, or do you take a breath and stay present? Do you lean in? Do you say, I'm still afraid, but I won't run? Do you say, I choose to believe you were sent with purpose? Because that decision changes everything. It tells your soulmate, I see you. I believe in us. I'm not going to sabotage this blessing. And when they feel that shift, they'll come even closer. They'll stop questioning your presence. They'll start deepening the bond, because that kind of trust is irresistible. That kind of love is unstoppable. But it starts with you. It starts now. With one moment of clarity, one choice to be different, one internal agreement. I will not lose what's sacred because of what hurt me. I will not sacrifice forever because of what failed me. I will not let fear speak louder than destiny. Type, I am ready to stop pushing love away if you feel this truth in your spirit. Say it aloud. Feel the shift. Let heaven record your yes. Let your soulmate feel the warmth of your surrender. Because the angels are watching and they're ready to move. But only when you are. Only when you choose to believe this is not too good to be true. This is too divine to be denied. And now it's your turn to open the door fully and let love in, not halfway, not with conditions, not with one foot in and the other ready to run. But fully, open-hearted, clear-minded, spirit first. Because love like this doesn't show up often. And when it does, it doesn't come loudly. It comes gently, with soft presence, with quiet strength, with truth in its eyes and peace in its steps. And if you're still carrying fear, you might mistake that quiet for emptiness, that peace for boredom, that truth for discomfort, because your heart was trained to expect chaos, to mistake intensity for intimacy, to call dysfunction passion. But this love, it won't overwhelm you. It will steady you. It won't chase you. It will invite you. It won't force anything. It will wait for your yes, but it can't wait forever. Because love, even divine love, requires cooperation. Your angels can align everything, but if you don't, open your heart. The blessing will pass by, not out of cruelty, but because free will is sacred. You must choose it. You must receive it. You must say, "This time I won't walk away from what's meant for me," because they're coming, your person, the one who sees beyond the walls, the one who hears what you don't say, the one who has done their own work, faced their own fears, and still chooses you. But they are human. They need to feel your love back. They need to know they're not loving you alone. They need to see you trusting what they've already surrendered to. Because while love can be patient, it cannot flourish in suspicion. And they've been giving you grace. They've been interpreting your silence as caution, your distance as a process, your hesitation as part of healing. But eventually, it starts to feel like rejection, and rejection wears even the strongest heart down. So this is your divine moment. The crossroads where your next choice shapes your next chapter. You can protect your pride, or you can protect the promise. You can armor up, or you can open up. You can stay in your head, or you can lead with your heart. But you can't do both, and your angels are gently, firmly, lovingly urging you, choose love, choose courage, choose surrender. Because it's not just about what you feel, it's about what you feed. Feed the doubt, and the connection will starve. Feed the faith, and the bond will bloom. It's time to break the pattern, the one that says, pull back before they do. Test their love before they disappoint you. Don't get too close, you might get hurt. That's not your truth anymore. That's an echo from the past. But this love, this sacred sent by God love, it's your present and your future and your choice. So let them feel your warmth again. Let them hear the clarity in your words. Let them know you're not fighting them. You're fighting for you, for what you both deserve. A union built not on survival, but on surrender, on shared vision, on spiritual trust. You've already done the hard part, the healing, the waiting, the release. Now it's time for the brave part, letting it in, letting it stay, letting it change everything, because it will. This love was sent not just to touch your life, but to transform it, to elevate your calling, to support your soul's mission, to stand beside you in every season. But it needs your cooperation, your softness, your yes. So take a breath. Exhale the fear, inhale the truth. You are not hard to love. You are not too late. You are not destined to repeat the pain. You are ready. Not because you're perfect, but because you're present, because your spirit has grown strong enough to carry joy. Not just healing, but happiness. And that's what your angels want for you. Not just survival, but sacred love, soul love, stable love, lasting love. And it's already approaching. Right now, it's on the path toward you, waiting for your full-hearted yes. So if your spirit is ready, type I say yes to love. I open the door. I choose trust, say it, feel it, Let the vibration break every old defense. Let the walls fall. Let the blessing in. Because what's meant for you is not being withheld. It's being protected until you're fully ready to hold it, not with fear, but with joy. And that moment is now. Heaven is watching. Your soulmate is sensing it. And your angels are smiling. Because your heart just said yes. Your angels are working overtime to break this cycle, sending you dreams of security, bringing memories of when love felt safe. Arranging moments where you'll have to choose, fear or faith. This is your spiritual ultimatum. Keep the habit and risk losing the miracle, or release it and step into the marriage meant for you. Because right now, heaven is holding the final door open. Not forever, but long enough for your soul to make a choice, and your angels are whispering gently, but firmly, this cycle ends with you. The cycle of pushing love away, of expecting abandonment before it even arrives, of rehearsing heartbreak just to soften the blow, of mistaking distance for protection. You've done this long enough, and it's not your fault. You were taught this, taught that love hurts, taught that connection equals risk, taught that vulnerability leads to betrayal. But that's not the truth. That's the trauma talking. That's the past echoing into your present. And your angels are here to interrupt that echo right now. This is the moment it all shifts. Not when someone else changes, but when you do. Because what's coming isn't just another relationship. It's a divine covenant. And covenants require clarity. They require commitment. They require courage. You don't get to keep the fear and hold the promise. You must choose. You must release the grip you've had on just in case, on what if they hurt me, on I'll love them, but only if they prove they'll never leave. Because the love that's coming, it doesn't need proof. It needs presence. It needs your whole heart, and right now, that heart is still guarded, still flinching at goodness, still scanning for red flags in green pastures, still testing a love that has already been approved by heaven. And that's the danger, because cycles feel safer than surrender. But they cost you the future. Your angels are saying, we can't open the next door until you close the old one, until you stop giving fear permission to lead, until you stop expecting the worst and start preparing for the best. Until you stop sabotaging the sacred, because this pattern, this hesitation, it's not protection anymore, it's resistance, and resistance delays the divine. So heaven is placing you in divine decision points, moments that force the question, do you want to stay safe or become free? Do you want control or connection? Do you want survival or sacred love? You already know the answer. You're tired of protecting what hurt you. You're tired of bracing for disappointment. You're tired of waking up next to fear instead of faith. So let it go. That old way of being, that part of you that thinks love must be earned or defended or chased. Let it die here. Let it be buried under the new belief. I am worthy of a love that stays. I am worthy of a love that sees me and still chooses me. I am worthy of a love that doesn't punish me for being soft, because that love is already circling your energy, already looking for the open door, already watching your behavior to know, are they truly ready for what they've been asking for? Not just saying it, but living like it, speaking like it, choosing like it. Because when you say, I want divine, but your heart says, I don't trust anyone, you create confusion in the spirit. And confusion slows the blessing, so heaven is simplifying it for you now. Faith or fear, breakthrough or same cycle, miracle, or missed moment. And this is not to pressure you, it's to empower you, because you're not helpless in this. You're not waiting for a rescue. You're being given authority to say, this pattern ends with me, to say, I will not sabotage what I've cried for, to say, I choose faith, even with trembling hands. And your angels, they're ready. They've been preparing your partner for this new version of you. They've been preparing your timeline for alignment, but your participation is required, and it begins with one decision: to stop leading with fear. Because the love that's coming, it's not here to test you. It's here to teach you what safe love feels like. It's not here to confuse you. It's here to confirm what your soul has always known, that love doesn't have to hurt, that love can hold, that love can stay. But you must stay too. You must stay with yourself when the fear rises. You must stay present when your mind says run. You must stay kind when your wounds want to lash out. That's the work. That's the healing. That's the miracle. And when you do it, even imperfectly, heaven rushes in. The timeline unlocks. The divine union moves forward. And suddenly, you're no longer waiting. You're living the very thing you almost talked yourself out of. Because you said yes. Not to the pain, not to the fear, but to the love that was always meant to be yours. So if you're ready to break the cycle, if you're ready to choose the promise over the pattern, type I, release fear. I choose the marriage meant for me. Say it aloud. Let your angels seal it. Let heaven shift everything, because the door is open, and your next step is faith. Not someday, not later, but now. The miracle is waiting, and this time, you won't miss it. In the coming days, you'll face a test. A moment where old habits will rise up, and you'll have to decide. Will you listen to fear, or will you trust the love heaven itself arranged? The angels are kneeling beside you as I speak this warning. This marriage is yours. This love is sacred. This destiny is real, but only if you let it be. The choice and the power have always been in your hands, not in their hands, not in the hands of fate, but in yours. Because heaven can open the door, but you must walk through it. And you'll know the moment when it comes. It won't look dramatic. It might not even feel like a test. But deep inside, your soul will feel the weight of it. That quiet inner tension. That pull between guarding and giving. That old reflex saying, protect yourself. And the new voice whispering, let love in. You may be tempted to close off, to overthink their message, to question their sincerity, to build walls and call it wisdom. But listen, that's the same voice that almost ruined every good thing before. That's not discernment. That's fear in disguise. And fear doesn't protect what's sacred. It prevents it. This time, it's different. Because this time, you know what's happening. You feel the shift. You recognize the cycle trying to reappear. And now you have the power to break it. To say, no more. To say, I choose something new. This isn't about pretending to be fearless. This is about choosing love, even when you're afraid. That's real courage, and real love will meet you there. Your soulmate isn't asking for perfection. They're not asking for certainty every second. They just want your truth, your presence, your belief in them. Not because they need validation, but because love dies where doubt lives, and they've been carrying this connection in their spirit. They've been praying for confirmation. They've been asking heaven, is this real? And now heaven is asking you the same. Is this real to you? Because your answer will write the next chapter. If you choose fear, you may delay it again. you may create confusion, distance, silence, but if you choose faith, you create space, you create safety, you create momentum, and that momentum will carry you straight into the love story you were born for. So how do you know what to choose? You'll feel it in the moment. That text you almost don't send. That conversation you almost avoid. That question you almost don't answer honestly. That silence you fill instead of letting them draw closer. You'll recognize it because you've been there before. But this time, the stakes are higher. This isn't just another relationship. This is your divine union. The person who sees the real you and doesn't run. The soul who knows your energy before your words. The one who was written into your life, not by chance, but by choice. Heaven's choice. And if heaven believes in you enough to write this love, why are you still doubting yourself? Why are you still preparing for rejection in a story that ends in reunion? Why are you waiting for them to prove what you already feel? This is your sign. This is your reminder. This is the test before the promise. And your angels want you to pass it, not because they'll love you less if you don't, but because you'll miss something beautiful if you don't. That peace, that connection, that sacred moment where you know, I made the right choice. I didn't run. I opened the door and love walked in. It's waiting, not far off, not in a fantasy, but here, close, possible, ready. So don't listen to the noise that says you're not ready. You are. The past didn't break you. It built you. It didn't disqualify you. It prepared you. And now you're being asked, will you receive what heaven's been holding for you? Will you say yes, not just with your lips, but with your choices, with your presence, with your vulnerability, because the one meant for you is watching. They're waiting for a signal, not a sign in the sky, but a sign in you. That says, I'm no longer afraid of love that stays. I'm no longer reacting to old wounds. I'm ready to live in the reality of what's sacred. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be willing to trust, to soften, to stay. And when you do, you'll feel heaven celebrate. Because that choice, that one quiet, powerful choice, changes everything. The timeline accelerates. Your partner feels your soul say yes. The divine marriage begins to move from prophecy to presence, and suddenly the delay ends. The distance closes. The waiting becomes witnessing. You become the one who said yes to love, even when fear screamed no. And that courage, that faith, that surrender is what makes this marriage holy. Not the rings, not the ceremony, but the moment you choose love when you had every reason to choose fear. That's the altar, that's the covenant, that's the test, and you are ready.